guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mackie and welcome to the first impulsive reading vlog that I'm sitting down to film this year. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna be a mini one, I think, because it's only over the span of a day. So let's just directly get into it. So now originally this video was supposed to be like sitting up and reading like half the night or pulling like an all-nighter every single day of the week to try to get through my TBR. But the thing is, these days I'm really trying to adjust my sleep schedule because I have like other things I want to be doing, and I actually want to be up in the mornings to watch the sunrise in the morning because it's so beautiful and I'm just missing out on it every single day, which is not okay. So that's one of my New Year's things, and you know, already sitting down to like record this video would have actually kind of ruined my sleep schedule, which is why we're kind of adjusting. We're doing it only over the span of today, so it's not that bad. It's just one day of sleep schedule that's adjusted, but it's all right. And the thing is, currently it's 3:22 in the afternoon. Now it is the afternoon because I had to spend all morning, you know, in like a course. I had like meetings I had to get through, but now that all of that is done, all my work for the day is done, I'm gonna sit up till 5 in the morning and read. So I'm basically pulling like half an all-nighter, I guess you can call it, or almost an all-nighter, to sit till 5 and read my books, get through my TBR. There's so much on it, so let's just directly start. I do have like other things I need to be doing tomorrow, especially like waking up early and like, you know, getting to places. So it's gonna be a little hectic. I am a little scared as to what I'm doing with that, but you know, I don't want to worry about that. We'll go with the flow and we'll start with the first book. I am in the middle of like a bunch of audiobooks right now, and all of them I have like maybe 10 minutes left on each. So I want to go finish those out before anything because I have been waiting to kind of finish them and talk about them in vlogs, but I had no vlog going. So I'm gonna start or pick up one of them, finish it off, and I'll come see you guys in basically 10 minutes, and I'll see you. Bye. Hi guys, so it's been a little bit since my last update. It's now 3:45, so it's been more than 10 minutes, but I have gone ahead and finished the book. I didn't come and update because it took longer than I thought it would. I underestimated how long it would take, but you know, here we are. And before anything, please ignore my hair. It's getting too hot. I had to put it up. And right now for updates, so I started listening to it and I actually started making like a card. I want to finish this out while we finish listening to our books, so we shall see what happens about that. But basically right now I ended up finishing 4 Ruined Realms by Corland. It's like the second book in the 5 Broken Blades like trilogy, and it's like a fantasy book. So I can't tell you what happens in this one because it's like a continuation of what happens in the first book. And basically the first book, so not this one but the first one in the series, is about these 5 liars taken from all over the land, and they kind of band together to kill the God King because he is a horrible person. He is very oppressive and like not the best. So they basically come together. There's like a spy master, there's an exiled prince, there's a thief, a pickpocket, a strong man, a nobleman, something like that, okay? And there's like a bunch of people, so they come together. They have this whole operation that they want to kill the God King, except you know, he's a God King for a reason. He can't really be killed, so they have to go figure that out. And so basically this book continues from the end of the events of the first one. And can I just say, this book is so much better than the first one. If you didn't like the first one, try this. Just try it. If you don't like it, then alright, but if you try it, oh my god, this has everything I love in fantasy. They're going on quests, they have all these adventures, and it actually contributes to a plot. And the ending, oh my god. So I started this a few days ago. I was actually sent like the pre-publishing copy, I guess you can call it, by Entangled. So thank you so much, you guys. I love you all so much because genuinely I was dying without it. I wanted, you know, the second book anyway, and they sent me the first 5 chapters. So I read that before it came out. Then after it got published, I ended up getting it as an audiobook, listening toward it towards like the rest of it. And the thing is, I had only a few chapters left towards the end because something crazy happens at the end of this book. I cannot tell you what, but if you've read it, that hit me with such emotional impact because genuinely I am very much mad at the author right now and questioning why she did what she had to, because that hit me so hard. I honestly thought I would break down, wasn't able to read anything for the rest of the day when I read something that happens in this book. And so, you know, I had to put it down, but now that I came back to it and finished it out, I cannot wait for the third book. But also I'm very mad about a certain event that took place in this book. So hopefully, I don't know, I'm still holding out hope that that event isn't like final or whatever. It probably is, but like, you know, I make no sense right now. All you care about is that I finished the book. I gave it 4.5 stars because genuinely, this is not fallen into second book syndrome. This might be so far the best book I've read this year. It was so freaking good. Oh my god. You guys don't understand. this series, I don't know why, it's not even that great, but it holds such a special place in my heart. And this book especially, if the first book was bad, this book was on top of the world, spectacular and amazing, and I really loved it. And if you have read the first one, definitely try this one out because it's so good. And now I cannot wait for the third book to come out, which, by the way, she's releasing it this very year. So she's releasing 2 fantasy books this year. Can we please take like a moment to just applaud her for the fact that she's putting out 2 fantasy books this year, because I don't think I would survive if I'd have to wait for the third book for like a whole other year. Oh my god, that wouldn't happen. So it's coming out soon. I can't wait for it, honestly. And with that ending, I am going to be waiting like crazy on the edge of my seat, dying to read it, because when it comes out, you best believe I will run to the bookstore that very day, get myself my copy, sit down and binge it, because it was so good. And I love my favorite liars. They are like the best kind of found family. Happy to be back in this world, and here we are. So now I'm gonna keep listening to the books. I still have 2 more audiobooks that I started, and I have like only a little bit towards the ending left that I didn't finish because I had such strong opinions and thoughts like this one that I wanted to come and talk about it. Either I really loved it or I really hated it and wanted to record that on camera to look back on one day. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna continue with like another book. The thing is, I'm doing this because I don't write reviews for every single book I read on Goodreads. That's not really my thing. So I want to have it documented in video form at least, so I can come look back on it one day. But until then, we shall see. I'm gonna pick up the next book I have, keep reading, and I'll come update you guys in a little bit with another book complete. This is so nice. I'm getting through the books I'm in the middle of, and this is perfect. I'll see you guys. Hi guys, so I'm crafting on the floor now. This is why you're getting the angle. It's now 4:09. I have finished the next book. So I had like only a couple chapters again left on this audiobook. It's called Last Chance Books, and I'm gonna give you a quick summary because I don't want to spend like 5 minutes talking about every single book, and then this vlog becomes like 50 minutes long because I have so many I want to get through. But basically this book follows Madeline. She works for Books and More, which is basically like a bookshop. It's like an indie bookshop that's about to shut down because they're running out of funds. So she's trying to do everything in her power to keep the bookshop running, except there's like this bookshop that opened up across the street called Prologue, which is kind of like a competitor, and she she has beef with the shop because she thinks they're stealing her sales, and she really hates the guy who is like the son of the owner or whatever. He's called Jasper. So they have like a thing going on between them, except I found this book very, very childish. The things they did, the kind of pranks they were pulling on each other, they went a bit too far, and I didn't feel the romance in it, so it wasn't for me. And like I said, I've been saying in so many vlogs at this point, I'm trying to be positive this year, which is why I'm not going to dwell on this book a little more. So I'm going to stop my update right now, but that's it. I'm giving it like 2 stars. I think I didn't really enjoy the book. It wasn't for me, unfortunately. It was like really boring, honestly. I think it lasted too long, and I'm just happy to be done. So I generally like books about bookshops and people who love reading books, but this one just wasn't it for me. But I will say some of the relationships in this book did feel realistic, so it wasn't like all bad. It's just it wasn't specifically for me. Now I'm gonna pick up the next book. It's like a book talk romance. Again, there's only the epilogue left, so I don't have a lot. I'll come see you guys in another like 10 minutes, and then after that we'll start reading full books because this is my last book that's left, wherein there's only a little bit in it. Hi guys, so time skip because I figured it's not very fun to watch a video where someone keeps updating every like 10 seconds. And also, before anything, last clip my mask was inverted, so please ignore that. I feel so dumb. I realized at the end of filming the clip, but I was not going to do it again. Regardless, it's 6:51 right now, and I have a few updates for you. Since the last time I spoke to you, remember how I said there's that one book I have to finish? I only have the epilogue left to listen to. Finished it. I think I may have found like my second worst book of the year, because at this point I'm just ranking them as to how bad they are. It was a book talk recommended book, so basically I don't even know the premise exactly, but I'm gonna go over it because I was just so done with it at the end of it. Basically, there's this girl Delilah. She has like past or history, I guess you can call it, with this other guy Dante, and so she's just like completely avoiding him or whatever. But then there's this like little mix-up, and she ends up in jail. So he comes, bails her out, and now he has to stay in the hotel room across from her because her life could be in danger. There's like a whole drug involvement, like something. So there's like people who could come after her to like her and then whatever. So because of that, there's like forced proximity and stuff, and you can read it to see what happens in their past if you want to. It's like in the first chapter, but it's too outrageous and awkward to say without, bursting out loud. Like, I don't think I can with a straight face, and it's so dumb. You can just go read it if you want to, I guess, on Goodreads, the summary. And so because of that, she's just like completely against it, and she's just like, oh my god, why are you in the room across from me? But then again, it's for her protection or whatever. So you keep reading, things start to develop between them, but she can't really encourage it because again, something happens in the past after their thing, and then after that, she's gone through like a traumatic period in her life. She's not playing the best, and so because of that, there's a lot involved, and it could have made for a very, very good, potentially amazing book. But then I feel like execution fell flat. Like, the plot is very interesting if you think about it. The execution, the only reason I read it was because of this one quote in it, and I think that was the only thing that actually made the book somewhat okay and bearable. I was just reading to make it to the quote, and then after that I checked out. But basically the execution fell flat for me because half the time, I'm gonna say it, she calls him wolf and he calls her lamb, unironically. That's all. But then, apart from that, he's not really recognizing like certain boundaries and stuff. There's no like backbone to her, because at some point she's just like telling him to back off. At the same time, she's in the two mind state where she's like, I hate him and I want him. And like, that's the worst kind of shit to read about, because I genuinely do not care. So again, I don't want to linger on this for too long. I don't want to dwell on it. So I'm just going to be done with it. I give it 2 stars. Again, one of the worst books I've read this year. It's so sad because January started out so strong for me. I was finding so many good books. And then now, all I'm getting is 2 star after 2 star after 2 star, and I'm sad because Book Talk has let me down yet again, just like the last book we read. But then now, moving on from this, I have picked up a couple of other books since the last time I spoke to you, and things are looking good because I was again listening to my audiobook. I'm trying not to tire myself out too much because I know if I'm going to be reading the entire time with my eyes and like on Kindle or like physically or whatever, I won't make it to 5. I will start feeling drowsy, which is why I'm purposely trying to stretch the time period out, listen to audiobooks, try to make that last while I can, and then I'll switch to Kindle when I'm not so tired, and we can pull through till 5. But until then, I started an audiobook right now. It's called Ready or Not. It's by this author who's really been like blowing up, I feel like, everywhere on the internet, because everyone reads her books because of like pretty covers, except they're actually good. And can I tell you this? Things are looking up. Basically, there's this girl, she accidentally gets pregnant after like a one-night stand kind of situation, and so she's navigating her like experiences and whatever, except it doesn't skip over the pregnancy, it goes over in detail. So everything she has to like go through or whatever, and she's doing it all by herself. She's trying to figure her way out, and she's dealing with certain problems. She's trying to figure out finances and all these other things that generally come with it, but no one really knows, because that's the part that's usually glossed over in romance books. Except it's actually gone into detail here, how she's gonna do it as like a single mother, and how she's not really sure what's happening. There's like complexities in different relationships and stuff, and the relationships are done so realistically. Don't even get me wrong, every single relationship that's been portrayed in this book is genuinely perfect, because it feels so realistic. Like, if you told me that something like this was happening to a real woman really out there, I would believe you, because everything about this book just feels so real and right. Like, yes, I can see someone going through all of this. Yes, I can see certain challenges and stuff coming up, and the way it's just been done and set up, and the way it's written, oh my god, you guys don't understand. I'm having such a good time. Then along with that, there's actually her best friend's brother who's kind of helping her out in it when she doesn't have to. She's feeling drawn to him. So it's more like a story about her and her life with a subplot of romance, and you don't understand how much I'm eating this up. It's very much giving me Emily Henry, Annabelle Monaghan, all the big names who write like women's fiction kind of books with like the best subplot of romance you can get. Like, romance is not the theme, it's more about the woman, it's more about her exploration of like herself or whatever, except then it goes deeper, and then you get the romance. Oh my god, it's hitting so good. You don't understand how good this book is, and please pick it up if you can. So I'm gonna keep listening. I think I have not a lot left actually, because I'm listening to it on 3x speed, and like, I don't want it done, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to her next book whenever it comes out. So that's kind of fun, and I'm gonna go finish this off right now. I'm also reading something on Kindle. So actually I took a break from journaling. Basically, I was listening to the book and journaling the entire time. I was doing my reading journal. Soon I'm gonna go do a normal journal. I finished the card I was making. Lots of crafty stuff going on, and I'll still keep going because I haven't finished any journaling stuff, but I got tired. So now I have my Kindle with me, and I'm actually reading this book I saw in the bookstore like a month ago. In one of my bookless vlogs, I think I took you guys along with me to the bookstore, found like a book there. I actually took a photo of it, clicked back on it, saw it. I started like a couple days ago, but like now I was at 46% before I picked it back up, and I can't put it down. It's that good, but I had to because I haven't given an update in quite some time. This is called Run by Blake Crouch. Basically, it's like an apocalyptic thriller or whatever, and it's been republished recently, and that's why, you know, it's really hitting. Like, I didn't expect it to, but I'm loving it, and you know, I'm gonna go keep reading a little more because I can't stop thinking about it, which is why I'm not giving you the best update because I'm focused there rather than here. And so I'll see you guys up in like a little bit. I think I can potentially finish both books tonight, which is kind of perfect because maybe we can aim for another after. I don't really know, we will see. But until then, I'll see you guys. I want to keep reading, honestly, so I'm gonna go read, and then at some point I'll come and give you like a premise of it, but I'm just gonna go read now because I want to so bad. You don't understand how good the books I've gotten now, especially after getting all of these disappointments of reads, and then now it's picked up and it's amazing. So I'll see you guys in a little bit, hopefully, and you know, hopefully it'll be soon, hopefully it won't be as long. Bye. Okay guys, 9:46, it is update time. Before anything, I wanted to say I didn't really give you like rules of the challenge. I directly went into the video, which was kind of dumb. It's kind of like a half readathon, I guess, because it's over 12 hours of reading, but it's not 24 exact. And I'm not authentically sitting down the entire 12 to 14 hours or whatever reading the books. I am taking breaks in the middle. So I just finished like a book 10 minutes ago, got up, had some human interaction because I needed that so bad, and then now I've come back to record. And then after this, I'm actually gonna go take a break because I genuinely need it, like so bad. I think if I've got to look at like another screen for like another few hours and then just sit here and read, like it's not a bad thing, I'm really enjoying myself, but if I have to do that, I would lose my sanity, so it's best I don't. But basically, since the last time I spoke to you, I was in the middle of a couple of books. I had to go leave early because I was trying to read my Kindle book. I have since gone ahead and finished it. I couldn't focus on anything until I had that done, and now that it is, can I just come in here and say I have captured my first 5-star read of the year on camera this video. I'm so freaking ecstatic over it. Run by Blake Crouch is my first 5-star book of the year. Let's talk about it. So essentially in this world, it's like an apocalyptic kind of book wherein 5 days ago there's all these random murders that start happening. So like cops go into like a nursing home, they kill the staff and the old people, they go into schools, they kill the children off. All these crazy things are happening that are seemingly unrelated, like murders all over the US and in all parts, and it's going crazy. And then, you know, 4 days ago they increased tenfold, so they multiply tenfold. 3 days ago the president addresses the nation. He's like, listen guys, please calm down, this is getting out of hand. I think like 2 days ago or 1 day ago, something like that, there's like power outages and stuff, so there's no lights and electricity, phones are not working, you know, cable lines, telecommunications all short out, so you can't really access any of that, and the only thing that's working is radio. And then tonight in the evening, the family was on the radio, they were listening to it. There's this like emergency broadcast system on which there's like this speaker, and she's reading out names essentially, and if your name gets read out, the people who are affected will basically come to your house to hunt you down and kill you. So essentially you have to run if your name is read out. And as it turns out, the father of the family, so the guy Jack, his name is read out, and you know, suddenly he and his family, they're taking their things, they're packing up and running away. They're being followed every 2 pages, something crazy is happening, gunshots and, you know, taking people down, all these crazy things. They're running out of fuel, food, water, they're trying to survive, basically doing anything to run away from it, but to live, and that's why the book is called Run. Now, if anyone asks why I've memorized the whole sequence of events, since the time I started reading this book like a couple days ago, I have been promoting it to every single person in my friend group for good reason, which is why, you know, need to know the summary so I can promote it. And along with that, now that I'm done reading, can I just say I cried. I cried 2 times during this book, which is why I just don't have the headspace to sit down and read some more. I want a break. My emotional instincts are in overdrive right now, especially because the first book we read in the video, I had put that down for like a reason that was very emotional, and you know, picked it back up, finished in this video. But then now that, you know, I'm getting emotional again with this book, I kind of want to just calm down and take a break, because why is it hitting so hard right now? And why is the fact that literally 1 clip ago I came and said I'm getting only 2-star reads? I think I may have jinxed myself in the best way possible. I found a 5-star. The way this book is paced and written, there's only like one paragraph paragraph each explaining what's going on, and it skips to the next para wherein there's like a break or whatever, and then it passes on in time. So essentially, if one paragraph happens right now and explains their current situation, it's gonna end on some sort of cliffhanger, and the next paragraph, which is basically a few minutes later, skips to what they're doing then, if they're trying to solve the issue they got into, if it's gotten worse, something like that. Which already that writing style is so thing, because it had me on the edge of my seat. Like the entire time I was reading, I didn't want to put this down. I almost cancelled plans a couple days ago when I started reading this just to keep reading, but then I had to go, so I had to put it down. But regardless, I'm so happy I'm done with it. Not really, because like now I can't really experience this for the first time again, but can I just say that ending was absolutely perfect. I love this book, and I have more of his books. I believe one of them is on my physical shelf as well, so I can go read that. Then I add the rest of his backlist to my TBR. It was so good. Oh my god, you guys don't understand how amazing this was, and I need you to go ahead, click out of this video, get yourself a copy, read it, and then come back to the video because it was that good. And I need people to talk more about this book because I believe it was republished earlier last year, which is why I found it in the bookstore, took a photo of it, and wanted to read it in the first place. But it's kind of crazy how this book hasn't been getting the hype it deserves. And this is one book that I genuinely wish had more hype, because genuinely lots more people need to discover this, read it, and have the joy of getting immersed into it for hours on end. Because it's like a world-ending situation, zombies or whatever, and while the explanation to it wasn't that satisfying, I don't really care. I'm just saying, because of that kind of situation, it would make a really good movie. So hopefully one day it'll get adapted as well, and hopefully it will be adapted correct, because I don't want like certain scenes cut out and the emotional parts taken away or whatever. But if it's done right, this would be such a good movie too. And I don't usually say that for books, I don't want them adapted, but I'd love to see this on the big screen as well. So now I'm gonna go take my break. If I have to guess, like I said, okay, so it's 9:52 right now. I will probably be back midnight, because I want to take quite a bit of like a break right now. Just go get something to eat, just lie on the couch by myself, staring up at the ceiling, pondering over what I really read, promoting it to my family, promoting it to my friend group, and then after that, I'll come back. We still have that audiobook I was listening to, so maybe we can finish that. And I also kind of want to finish one more book, but I don't know if that's aiming for the stars. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm still not that tired, or not as tired as I thought I'd be at this point, which is why it's proving my point that I should be listening to audiobooks more, because surprisingly I'm not that exhausted. I can still keep pulling and pushing it through until 5. So I'll see you guys hopefully very soon, in a couple of hours, couple of seconds for you on screen, and I'll see you when I see you. I'm gonna take my break now because I need it so bad. But genuinely, this was such a good book, and now I can't wait to read some more, because I think I might be out of my slump already, and it's so amazing. So I'm gonna go keep reading, maybe find another 5-star, who knows. This video is already off to such like a great start, and we haven't even gotten into the night aspect yet, so crazy. I'm gonna go, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, so it's like 12:30 right now. I believe only like my parents are awake. 90% of the household is sleeping. That math is very wrong, which is why I'm coming here, because there's literally no one here. I'm scared of recording in front of my family. Don't know what it is with my social anxiety that I can't even do it in front of my family, but here we are. And now it's book update time. So I came up like half an hour ago. I came up exactly at midnight, which it's kind of late, but then to be fair, we have 5 hours ahead of us, now 4.5. And I'm grateful I still made that goal to come up by midnight, because I could have just been, whiling the time away downstairs, but I didn't do that. And I didn't read any during that time, but I came now. I've been listening to my audiobook, this one, since. Can I just say, I really like the friendship between them, because I feel like friendship is the basis for, everything important. Now that it's building up from there and going very slowly, that's the way I like my books done. So I'm having such a great time on it. Honestly, even the way it's written is so beautiful. Like one day I want to go back and reread this book just to annotate it, just to find my favorite lines, because it's that good. And obviously the cover is beautiful. Would love to have that on my shelf one day. But now, like I said, it's 12:31, which means I have to go continue listening. We have 4.5 hours still, but the problem is tomorrow, as it turns out, I kind of need to go to school in the morning. So that means if I finish at 5 with the video, I get like an hour and a half of sleep. 6:30 I have to be back up on my feet, getting ready for school, because I have to go for this one last minute thing that came up in the afternoon today, which I wasn't aware of, because if I would have been, I wouldn't have scheduled this video for today. But it's too late now, can't really back out, and that means I'm getting only an hour and a half of sleep, and I'm already crashing right now. So my solution is I'm going to keep listening. I have like maybe 1 hour, a little over an hour left on my audiobook, and I'm going to consume as much sugary stuff as I can so I get on that sugar high. Is that a bad idea? Probably. But then, while I'm doing that, I will stay up and I'll continue and I'll finish our book. But then the thing is, even if I finish by 1:30, I still have quite some time, which means we can probably do one more book. So let's see. I'll come update you guys hopefully soon, but the updates are going to be sparse now because I'm scared of recording. And at the night time when there's like squeaky weird sounds, like I want to be curled up in bed, blanket to my face, Kindle in hand, focused on my fictional world rather than getting scared in the real world. So I'm gonna do all of that. I'll see you guys in a bit, hopefully once the book is done now. And yeah, I'm having a great time so far. Maybe it's not a good idea, this challenge, because that means I won't get a lot of sleep today and tomorrow, and it's not good for me. But then at the same time, I'm having a good time despite how tired I feel right now. It's really catching up with me. So I'm just gonna go keep reading, and hopefully the sugar high will help me pull through. I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, so it's a couple days later. I know I said I'd come update during the night while I was reading, but that just goes to show my social anxiety and the fact that I'm really creeped out at night to come and record. Plus I didn't really want to disturb everyone who was sleeping. So I didn't come in to update, but I did end up sitting down and I was reading. The only thing is, I said I wanted to hit 5 a.m. I did not do that. I think I made it into like the 4 a.m. hours. I don't know when I ended up like dozing off or whatever, but I do know I was getting really delirious at this point, so I hadn't really recorded anything from it, but I have some bookish updates to give you regardless. Since the last time I spoke to you, I did end up finishing Ready or Not. I really liked it. I liked the way it progressed from friendship and the acts of service in this book, because acts of service for me personally isn't like you sitting down and doing me favors. It's more like you noticing things I've said in the past and coming back to act on it, even without me asking. And that's the kind of acts of service that was in this book, especially done by the guy Shep, and it was so good. You don't understand, this book was realistic, but in the best sense possible, because this is how I want my romances to be. They weren't jumping at each other and being like, oh my god, romance. It was done very well and it was balanced out really nicely, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm giving this, I think, like 4.25. It's one of the best romances I've read so far, and I'm not even joking. I really loved it. So many bits of it, I was just smiling and giggling aloud, even though I was listening on audio, and that just makes it all the more worth it. And you should read it if you can. After this, in the challenge, I believe it was like around 2 o'clock that I finished it, so more than I estimated. But then after this, I ended up picking up this book called The Nanny. I've been hearing like some stuff about it like everywhere. It's gone viral, I think last year or something on TikTok. But basically it follows this girl, Cassie. She kind of gets employed to be like this part-time nanny, or full-time nanny technically, and live in the house of the person she's like nannying for, as she's a student, because she doesn't really have enough money. She needs to pay her bills. But it turns out the guy she's nannying for, so the dad, she and him might have some past history, because she used to have OnlyFans and he might have been her biggest fan. So that's a little awkward or whatever. She figures that out. It goes from there. It's a romance between the two of them, and it's single dad, single parent trope. There's a child involved, and the child was really interesting, funny. I found it cute. I feel like even her best friend in the book, Wanda, old woman, even her perspectives were so funny. And this is what I mean when sometimes I need like a good old rom-com to balance everything out. It needs to be outrageous and ridiculous and fun, and this really was. It was very spicy though, and I haven't finished it yet. The way I'm saying was, no, it's still going for me. I didn't finish it in this challenge. I managed to make it till page 180, which is not bad, but then I really zoned out and then went to sleep because that's how tired I was. But we read a decent amount of books in this video. The thing is, this book is extremely spicy. I have picked it up since the last time I left it down, and while I won't be finishing it in this video, I will try to include star ratings on the screen, because I will have finished it by the time I need to edit. So that's what I thought of this book. And the thing is, it's nothing like special or out of the ordinary. It's really just like the most ordinary rom-com you'll find. But it's good. I mean, you kind of need stuff like this as like a palate cleanser sometimes. And it would have been better if there was less spice, but it's good regardless. And I'm gonna go work on finishing that now. But that's it. It's like a 400-page book. So the fact that I even managed to read 180 before I was completely knocked out and like wanted to just sleep and actually ended up dozing off, I think I made like good progress. And then all of yesterday, which is actually the day I had to, finish up till 5 in the morning. After that, I did end up having to go to school, finishing all of that, coming back home. I was knocked out the entire day, which is why I didn't come and update the very same day. I am coming now today. But regardless, we have now reached the end of today's vlog. Hopefully you guys had a fun time coming along with me, reading till 5 in the morning, because while I didn't exactly hit 5 on the dot, it was very close to it, and I'm gonna take that as a win, because we finished quite a few books in this video, and I don't want to be too hard on myself. It's just a fun challenge, and I had a fun time doing it. So hopefully you guys had a fun time coming along with me, watching me do this reading vlog, and if you did, like, comment, share, subscribe. YouTube things, and I'll see you hopefully very soon in my next video. I am trying to post 2 times a week, so don't know when I'm seeing you. Maybe this week, maybe next week, whenever I see you though. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and bye.